Hello and welcome to another fabulous episode of the AI Show. This is Seth Juarez coming to you from my little office in my house. Yay team, work from home. So listen, I don't know if you saw this last time, but I got me a GitHub Lite. Get ready. Get ready. Booyah. Now it's a show. Super excited today. I was out of town last time. Thanks to Cassie for hosting. She is fantastic. I got to tell you a story how I met her. She is a delightful person, and we are lucky that sometimes you don't have to have me. I was in the UK a couple of weeks ago. Yes, Jay. Yes. I was at the wedding. I'm not going to lie. I got sick. And then they let me come home, thank goodness. And then I got chills. And now I'm perfectly fine. So I can snuggle with any one of you now, and you will not get sick. Well, at least not from what I had. Because I don't got it anymore. All right, time to share my screen. Here we go. Tell you what we're doing today. You know, we have some choices. And I thought I would ask you. Hold on, let me get my whiteboard up here. Blackboard, more like. So we're going to share this screen here. Kapow! I'm going to add it to the screen. I'm going to add. There we go. I'm going to put myself down here. No, I'll put myself down here. Woo! And as always, we have our pandemic purchase. This thing right here. Let's tell you what we're doing today. I'm going to use my pencil here. Touch is on. Here, let me put this down here, because you might still hear me go like, but don't worry. I sterilize this microphone every 15 minutes. So I don't want y'all to get sick through the interwebs. Number one, we have intelligent. By the way, where's everybody from? By the way, I want to make sure we do a little round of where's everybody from. Intelligent recommendations with the amazing Moon King. She's great. You'll like her. Ask her questions. Number two, I actually did fix. Remember how I was like, I gotta just fix this because we had like some boring moments. I did fix some of the stuff. I'll tell you what I did, and then we'll get into. Oh, serious? Look at. Hold on. Janice, you number 7. Thank you, and from Twitch. Moon AI is right. She's awesome. Looks like we've got someone from. I'm old. I need to move this. I can't. LA. Nice. I used to live in LA. They kicked me out. I don't want to talk about it. Number 2. So we'll do some more Roshambo. But I've recently, and you can tell me what you think. I've recently been thinking about transformer models. And so I thought, if we have some time, maybe we'll look at like how transformer models work. I don't know, and transformer models are the things that build on GPT-3, the Da Vinci models that build like some of the stuff in GitHub Copilot, stuff like that. I'd be curious to maybe delve into some of that. So if you want, we can. We got 2 hours, so we'll do a maybe 2A transformer models. What do you think? I think for this one, I have to explain the fixes. So I made some fixes, and then number two, let's start automating the AI process on the deployment end. So that's what we're doing today. We've got chock full amazing things going on. I'm pretty excited. So without further ado, let's see if Moon is if she's here. She's here. So let's bring her on. You ready, Moon? She is ready. Oh my gosh, I have the wrong background on right now, Moon. How embarrassing. This is supposed to be the right background. Does this feel better now, Moon?
Yes. I
knew it.
see nodes connecting to other nodes. It's always better.
It felt like it was a little dark in here, but now that we have nodes connecting to nodes, I think people are pretty excited. By the way, so we have people from LA. Tell us where else we're coming from. I'm looking here. So just type it right in. We like people. Jay McCormick is asking to both of us, because I was in the UK. Were you at the Queen's funeral? Moon, did you watch that?
No.
I didn't either.
I lived in the UK for a long time. But,
where at? Tell us.
London.
Really?
I grew up in London.
Yes, when we spoke last time.
Yeah.
Did you like it? What'd you think?
It had its ups and downs. So
nice. That is the best non-committal answer.
I have a habit of like TMI, so I'm like,
this show is 2 hours long. Avi, you can be here if you want. You can just tell me like, Seth, that joke wasn't funny. You could be like my little Geppetto on my shoulder. That's like, no, Seth, we don't say that during live streams. Totally. But speaking of TMI, way too much TMI the whole time with me. So it's all good. We're the same person, basically. It's at the beginning of light.
You know what? I'm there because I was just thinking I have to spend some time studying transformer models because it's the new big deal.
So maybe I'll do more transformer models today because I wanted to get into math and figure out what makes them special.
Yeah.
Because I started in NLP, and back then when I went to school, it was like old school noisy channel model from the 60s that they were teaching me, and that stuff just doesn't work.
Well, someone just showed me, a friend of mine who was visiting, and he showed me Dolly.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the betas. I was like, really cool.
Yeah, and it's quite cool. I got access to Dolly. It's quite cool. I can't show stuff or talk about it because.
But you can say it's cool, right?
That's cool. Okay. It's cool. So I was not at the Queen's funeral, to answer your question, Jay. I was there the day she died. And I was sitting in a restaurant with some family, my wife's family. And then we left, and my daughter from the United States texted me. It's like, the Queen has died. And I'm like, what? And then we went, and to the people at the hotel were like, hey, are y'all going to shut everything down so that we can't go home? And like, why would we do that? Well, because the Queen has died. And they're like, what? No, sorry. Pardon. I don't know. That was a bad British accent. So, no, I was there when she died, but not when she... Apparently, over 6 billion watched the Queen's funeral. But not -2. You and me.
I think it's too morbid. I mean, she died.
She's a wonderful. I mean, I don't know. It's people that have a lot of things. All right. So listen, today we're going to talk about our intelligent recommendations. We recorded a thing. I figured we'd just play it. And then are you okay to stick around and answer any questions?
Oh, of course. Please play it. Please let the world see my awkwardness, but I'm much better at answering questions. Go ahead.
Oh, speaking of awkwardness, you are at the right show. Because it's all about awkward. All right, let me turn the music down, and I am going to put the video on right now. You're not going to want to miss this episode of the AI Show where we're talking about intelligent recommendations with my friend Moon King. Make sure you tune in. Hello and welcome to this episode of the AI Show where we're talking about intelligent recommendations with Moon King. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Fantastic. So why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
Okay, so I'm a program manager at Microsoft, and I work on intelligent recommendations, which is an AI and machine learning driven discovery solution.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Now,
Has this been
has this been around
for
for
a
a long
long
time?
It has.
It has
actually.
we've been around
for 12 years,
but
but most of that time we were actually been working with
products that
people are very familiar with,
like
Xbox or Windows
Desktop,
Desktop,
or,
or
you know,
the
Microsoft Store.
Store.
We've been
And we've been
pairing
pairing recommendations within
Microsoft. And
last year we got the chance to bring it to the world through Azure.
Fantastic. So
What is an intelligent recommendation system
actually do? What
problem is it solving?
So
Discovery,
which is a huge space. It's about finding things you know of and maybe you know some key terms, and that's search. Recommendations it fills the rest of the space where a lot of times people have interests and tastes, but finding that right thing at the right time is a very difficult challenge. Sometimes you find something that sort of fills that need, but not more precisely, and enabling a way to
go down the
rabbit hole, if you will, to find that thing that really fits you is what recommendations is all about.
Fantastic.
And so
I put your slide up there. Why don't you tell us what's going on here?
So a lot of times, I always thought about recommendations as something for people to have better life using whatever to find what they need. And so of course, like it helps them to do engagement activities like with digital content, or when they're shopping, or when they're looking for things like documents. But of course, for businesses who are looking at recommendations and its usefulness, it's all of those activities that engage users actually drive up conversion, revenue, CTR, engagement. And it works on all sorts of different scenarios that people don't often easily connect to recommendations. A lot of times people think, okay, only Netflix scenarios. But really, all sorts of different UX experiences, like whether you're on the homepage for something, or you're on a sort of landing page for categories, or you've gone all the way down into a detail page for something. Recommendations can help find more content or more products.
That's really cool.
That's really cool.
And so what are you showing us here?
So these two are just sort of an illustration for if you use behavioral information. It could be people who looked at this also looked at, or conversions. Then you can get personalization like picks for you, like based on your historical activities. What would we suggest to you? And then on the other illustration, it's sort of showing you well at a product details page what might that look like when you're doing an item to item sort of connection. And all of this is I think we're familiar in lots of different ways, but we don't always know that it's machine learning. Our primary mechanism for driving this is collaborative filtering, but we actually, as I want to show you on the next couple of slides, do a lot more in terms of using textual information or visual information now to drive those connections.
All right, well, let's dive in. What do you got for us?
Okay, so the next slide, I do want to pause to say before I go into that, is that this is an Azure service. You can instantiate it very easily. And when we built it, we actually had a very strong notion in our mind, like our tagline has this, that we're here to democratize AI/ML. And so we wanted to make sure that it was fully turnkey. If somebody wanted this just recommendations, they could plug it into whatever ecosystem they have, and they can get going, whether they have a data scientist or not. But we also know that a lot of companies have data scientists, so like encouraging them to use this to get started, so they don't have to build a full wheel, but sort of do all of the cool things for their business and then unique needs, they can fill that in. And then I'll actually let's skip to the next slide to show you some of the scenarios that people are starting to use with the service. So I think our crown jewels in our space that are the bread and butter that we've used for years and we know has tremendous impacts, like huge double-digit lifts in revenue in CTR, are all about like things that use behavior, such as if customers buy something, what else do they buy? And we call that people also like. And I say do in our text as opposed to buy, because really one of the beautiful parts about our system is we have this generic schema, if you will, or strict schema, but we don't really care what you put in as long as the behavior you want sort of can match up. So if you put in transactions into this people also do list, you'll get people buy this also buy. If you were to put in, suppose I'll make up a signal that says people read this, then if you put that in, you'll get an output of people who read this article also read. So it's really adaptive in that way. And with that same sort of usage information, we get several other things actually. We get personalization for a user. So based on their historical information, we can say, okay, this is what we think you'd really like, and based on your tastes. We can also do session-based personalization, which is huge if you think about it, because something like in a retail scenario, online retail stores, very few people actually sign in. I think I've heard various different estimates, something like 70% of visitors are anonymous to as high as 80 or 90. So this is a way to engage those people to say, okay, we just saw you, looking at this within this session. So maybe these things interest you. Some other things that we do with usage information are like next best action. In a retail context, that's often called like frequently bought together. But the basic notion is, how do you create baskets of items that go together because they're complementary, because that's what people tend to put together.
This is really interesting. If let me see if I'm understanding you correctly, Moon, because I want to make sure. So basically, any action that your software, a user can take, you can use the intelligent recommendation to suggest similar actions based upon other people or the thing that they're looking at. Am I getting this right?
Yes. Just one tweak to what you said. Instead of similar action, similar items based on those actions taken by other people.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That makes
So,
sense.
and it all my examples here kind of show retail clothing, but that's like, don't let that fool you. That's just for the purposes of being able to talk to people and put a slide together. But really, the thing you're looking at could be documents, could be, support tickets, it could be videos, it could be digital goods, it could be anything like legal documents. When there's a ton of volume of those items and a ton of interactions with those items, you can drive recommendations.
And that's cool, because now that I'm understanding a little better, basically any item that you have in your system, whatever it may be, all the verbs that use that noun, now you can make it so that they can do those verbs with other nouns that are similar. Am I getting this right?
Yes. That's a perfect way to describe it. I'm going to start using that now.
I love it. So this is awesome. But is it how hard is it to set something like this up? You mentioned earlier that you wanted people to be able to just jump into it and use it, but it feels like I've done collaborative filtering before, and there's some maths and other stuff involved. What is it like to set it up
I'll
here?
show you exactly how to do it and how simple it is.
Okay.
But before I do, I want to talk about two other things.
Let's do it.
So similar looks and similar descriptions. These don't use collaborative filtering. They actually use, in case of similar looks, visual cognition. And this example, I think, is a really nice illustrative one where we didn't pass the system any kind of notes about it or even behavior. All we passed it was the product image, and it's able to find other dresses with that kind of pattern. And I like to shop for dresses. I would never have called that red dress a gradient gown. I would have called it an ombre. So that's what I would have typed in. But then you can see the results like give exactly what I'd expect by the look. And that's the power of visual stuff in cases where you can apply it. Like jewelry, furniture, and clothing, we've seen it do wonderfully. Similar descriptions is sort of like the other side, where if the most interesting, pertinent, is quintessential information about a thing is in the text, then you can use that. It uses the latest NLP tech, and we actually got better results than many other competitors that we looked at, above and beyond like what they were doing. And our technique is actually patented in that too. And it really can find like synonyms. It's not about keywords and searching, but really looking at the description of a thing, you can find other very, very close stuff. One area that it works great in is like wine or other foods like cheese and chocolates. Like if you're like me, I go to the wine aisle and I'm like, I can't tell the difference between which has a leather notes or pencil shavings. But, like you don't need that sort of expertise in a specific field to just be like, oh, I like this wine normally, like what's like it, and it would find it for you.
This is cool because I was looking at the verbs, right? But it's the intrinsic nouns also that the intelligent recommendation gets to reason over as well, and not reason like in a it's exactly the same word or exactly the same picture, but things that are similar as well.
Yeah,
is this right?
yeah. And I'll actually this picture in the some of the descriptions is actually from a real customer who gave us permission to show this. They have mostly home goods in their store, but they had a few things that weren't as popular. So something like people also buy or people also view wasn't really giving a lot of results because it doesn't have that many interactions. And you can look at this description of Boris the Badger. It doesn't mention children, kids, stuffy, any of those sort of words, toy, but the results that came out were perfect. Like, here's a fox, there's a bunny, and a hedgehog, all stuffed animals. And it did that without looking for keywords, but really understanding sentence and semantics backwards and forwards.
Well, this is cool. Now I want to see like how you do it. Can you show us?
Okay, so we do have a try with your own feature, but first thing you have to do is go to our website. And if you go to try to experience, you can actually play around with some demo data that we've created. But I will tell you the following. Demo data has limitations because, we can only have like licensing powers to so many items. But in a real store, there are more than 7 sweaters, or 5 types of cookies, or usually there are more. So what we have is an experience called Try with Your Own Data that lets you basically upload your own file, and within less than 5 minutes, you would be able to start seeing results. Now, I wanted to make sure that everybody, even if they didn't have sample data prepared, could see what that looks like. So I'm going to just try that out for you guys right now. So I'm going to open this file.
Yep, we see it.
Yep. Okay, great. And I'm just going to save it to my documents. Okay, it's saved somewhere. I'll find it in just a moment, and then I can browse my files to get that download. And it's uploading. Submit
So you
it.
can use your own data with this, right?
Yes.
Is there like a special format that you need for this data?
Yes, and for that, we even have a quick start guide where we show you exactly what data you can get. Let me just skip to the bottom of this and show you a little bit about what that looks like, what that process looks like. So you'll go to Azure portal, create your account, and you'll upload data in the following types of formats. So can you see this? This is
Yes,
my
I can see it.
interactions table.
Yeah.
So this has a column for a grouping ID, like if things were purchased on the same order. It has a product ID number, whatever that is. And you can ignore some of the other columns, and it has a user, and it has a transaction field because that's what they were, and a timestamp. Everything else you can sort of either leave blank or, where we ask you to just put 1 or 2, just following this format. That's the bare minimum that you need. And you would actually have results like, I'll go back to my thing. Let's see if I have results right now. Okay. It might take less than 5 minutes. If not, we'll come back. Okay. So you'll start to get results like this as soon as you upload your data.
This is cool.
So new, popular, Brussels sprouts, like this is what we looked at to say, okay, can we get at least new and popular, and people also like modeled? And that's what we were able to do. And so if you were to upload your own data with at least interactions, and if you put an image in, you would get this kind of experience right away. But if you try and to do a proof of concept with us, this whole quick start guide, which is not the 5 minutes, it's I would call it the 5 hours to maybe, a day to trying it out. And we've seen real customers do a full end-to-end solution with this like completing, getting their own data, putting it into our simple schema, which is really 2 tables and 4 columns that you have to fill in, up and running within 2 weeks, from start of data science to pumping in the service to getting the UI hooked up and then seeing results. And the kinds of results that people see are something like 95% increase in engagement. That same customer had like a whopping degree of increase in their revenue. Internally, like even Microsoft Documents is now using this, and they've seen a 600% growth in terms of interaction month over month.
That's really cool, because if we're in the business of having people use our nouns, whatever those things are, our items, when people are looking for things, it's sometimes hard. That's why store shopping is so nice, because you're like, oh, I like this color, and you go to that aisle of the store. That's hard to replicate in an online store or an online purveyor of nouns. This makes it really easy for folks to find things that they didn't even know they were looking for.
Yep. And making it easy to even find the things you sort of had an idea about, but you couldn't verbalize, or you didn't know the name for. But you just, to even do comparison shopping, it makes it so much easier. In fact, like a lot of times people ask me, Moon, how much should you make the homepage be beautiful and connect it up with that with recommendations? And I say that's important to do, but don't forget the product detail page, like what we're seeing now. It's sort of an essential analog of that, because people usually gravitate to one thing that they're interested in if it catches their eye, and then they really want to see the other stuff because they're usually very mission driven.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I usually get the other stuff is that's what I actually wanted. Well, this is amazing. You went to this website. Can you tell us where people can go to learn more about this?
Yeah, just go to intelligent-recommendations.microsoft.com.
Fantastic. And there's a little short link there, aka.ms Intelligent Recommendations. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
I hope you give it a try.
Yeah, I mean, I know I will. If it's basically giving it data that you already have, and then adding the feature at the end, even with the images, I think it's amazing. I'm super excited to try it myself.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us, Moon.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us, you that are watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. We've been talking all about intelligent recommendations with Moon King. We'll see you next time. Take care. All right. Sorry about the echo. That was weird. Moon, I had an echo. I'm so sorry. Was it really bad? I couldn't hear it. Oh, sorry. Are you muted? You shouldn't be muted.
Oh, okay. Am I unmuted now?
Yeah, you are unmuted now. There you go.
Yay. Well, I was going to say the echo only covered the boring part. The interesting parts are fine.
No. None of it was boring. Hopefully folks have some questions. The first thing is, one thing that I wanted to say was, it actually finished right after we finished talking, because I got us off on a tangent, but the whole thing finished like right after. Is that right? Because remember, it used to.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it did. I ran it, and then it was like, oh, it's ready, and I was like, oh, okay. It's fine.
I forgot to show it. But basically, if you want to go to here, let me bring up the link. Here it is. Intelligent recommendations. You can totally go try it, and I think you have test data up there and everything, right?
Yeah.
So anything that, as you were watching, that you thought, oh, I should have said this or I should have said that? Anything that comes to mind?
No, I think I'm just question. Yeah, it was like a costume change. No, I'm just very question driven. Give me, easy stuff, hard stuff, whatever you're curious about. No bad questions. And if you ever felt like, Moon, you could improve this by XYZ, like just hit me up at my email address, and I definitely would love to lean in and learn.
I will tell you that everyone here was delighted to watch, because it really is quite simple to use, and collaborative filtering and this is more than collaborative filtering, right? It's content-based filtering too. It was actually used to be hard. And I remember when we had an Azure ML Studio a while back, it was also hard then too. But here it's just like upload a thing with pictures and you're done.
It is hard, but that's like, I think part of the innovation is like, listen, we managed to snag these not even data scientists, they're PhDs who did their work on recommendations specifically. They're like magical leprechauns.
That's right.
They're really hard to get, and we just managed to grab a few of them, and we're putting that brain trust to work so that everyone else doesn't have to do the same thing. I mean, this is the whole specialization aspect of it.
Amazing. So I do have some questions though, because I thought of some afterwards. Because afterwards I was thinking about it, and I thought maybe I would ask you now. So once you upload that data, is it just an API that you call when you put it into your systems? How does that work?
Okay, so you upload your data and you connect the intelligent recommendation service. You give it some write permissions and read permissions to the blob storage, wherever you put the data.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it reads it. And then once it's done cooking, basically use an API call. And the link, is actually in Azure portal that you can know what to call. And then you just stick it into the same website. We actually have a result explorer tool is what we called it. Mm-hmm. You can plug it in. And if you have images, you'll see the results right away. You can also obviously use Postman.
I see. And you're just getting like a JSON response that then you can just embed into your... Okay. So that's the first question. The second question is, you kind of alluded to it, but obviously as an organization, I will have more nouns and more verbs. What is the process like to continuously integrate new data? What would your recommendation be for that?
Okay, so I've been really... I think I love this question, because a lot of times people aren't there yet, but then I'll tell them about experimentation and they get a little bit scared of this thing. And so we've actually written a paper on this. We're about to publish it soon.
Oh,
but
nice.
I talk about how people should manage experimentation in almost simplistic ways. How you can... I always think, like, even if I was doing it for myself and I was trying to play around with data, we just tell people, create another model, create a new account and a new model with different data, or the same data and different tweaks, and just call the two different endpoints and then just see which results are better or not. I think the biggest trap sometimes about AI ML that people get into is like, but why didn't it work? That's a really hard question to answer a lot of times, right? And so sometimes the best way is like, have an intuition, then check your hypothesis by just trying it out. And then, if you have two different models, there's no limit to the number of accounts and models you can have. Just set that up and then try it.
I see. So basically what you're saying is, if you have new data, the best thing to do would be like to have not a production model, but what's the other one? A staging model, for example.
A staging model, yeah.
And where you're continuously integrating the data, and then you could do some A/B tests over your old model and see, is the old model getting us the extra, sales, or is the new model doing even better?
Yeah.
And that's how you move from...
And we even have two forms of tests. Like, actually there's three you can do. One is that we've actually, on our website, you can find like where to download some Power BI reports that tell you some statistical information about your model. For example, one of them is like, how much coverage of the nouns do you have for results given different models? And there are other stats like that. So that's one type of evaluation. The other one you can do is I call subjective, just whoever is an expert in the domain. A lot of times, like in retail example, it would be merchandisers. When we work with them as docs, it was the docs people themselves. They kind of knew, had a handle on what things were related or not. And then the third thing, the most complicated thing, I think, is A/B testing. That's like live online testing. But I wouldn't do that first. I would do that after the offline sort of mechanisms.
I see. So the first one is just look at it and see if it's sensible. Then get experts to do the smell test. The smell test. I just made that up. It just might be, we might have invented a new machine learning thing. The smell test. And then last, to get more rigorous, you could do A/B testing.
Yeah. And even in the first one that you mentioned, the offline testing, you can actually be quite rigorous with it. Because I mean, it's like, I think it's a common practice is like you train your model on like, 80% of your actual observed data, like results. Right. And then you just see, see what the machine predicts for the other 20% you hid from it, and then see like how close up it was, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing I love. I love telling people the one caveat with that is if you have a model that's 100% accurate, it's 100% accurate on the data you left out, not on
Yeah.
the entire universe of set of things that might go into the model. And that's important too, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I also think there's no such thing as a perfect model. In fact, it could be really bad for society if we go towards that world where it's like you only ever see what you've only ever been seeing and using.
Yeah.
And then it's like you never discover anything new, like the echo chamber type of thing. But we actually do something in our system to like actually enforce what we call freshness. I mean, this is a term I came up with. Maybe it's a bad term. But it was like to keep it fresh, keep it alive. Someone needs to be exposed to new stuff.
And so would you just like uniformly at random pick a thing and then put it in the results? Or I guess
It's
I don't
not
understand how you do
it's
that.
not entirely random. It's like we have a prediction, but like if your prediction, like in a list, it's 1 through 10 on a screen, let's say, then if it's only ever that and there's something outside that happens that the system didn't capture. For example, let's say we're doing movie recommendations and you went to see that movie, outside. It's kind of boring and becomes static, especially if you come back day after day or month after month. So what we tend to do is like, we know that there out of, thousands of movies is probably a top like 300. So we try to do some, I would say, salted, like, mix between the top ones.
I see. So it's not. I see. And
There's
that's
some
important.
there's
Yeah.
some, method to the madness.
But
But
basically, we're not just going to show you exactly the same thing every time
correct.
because there is this, freshness that you want in
Yeah.
the
And we had
recommendation.
to experiment to find the right scheme for that, even to find the exact right scheme to determine that that would work. And it does seem to work.
How often now I'll ask this question, see if you may not have an answer. How often is the freshness item included? Is it selected? Like do you have a measurement of that? Because this is
Um,
really interesting to me.
it's really there's two mechanisms. Well, there's really just one mechanism. Every half an hour is but you can change that. You can change it's configurable to like how how much to show the same static one. Half an hour is what we found online with especially like internal usage, like around Xbox and stuff. Half an hour is what made sense to people.
And that's when it starts to show other things. Got it. Well, this is awesome. You explained everything so well that nobody has any questions except for the dumb ones that I had. So thank you. So anything you want people to go do, should I put those links up again?
Yeah, you should try it and tell me, what you liked about it. Tell me what you didn't like about it. What could we do next? Like, what's the next big breakthrough? Yes, there is a cost for using this because it's an Azure service, but you can get a trial for 3 months if you use 1RPS. Because the most expensive thing about our whole service is the actual like responding to queries. Like the actual modeling and the storage is very cheap. So like try it out. Set it to 1RPS. Try it. See what you get. See how you can tweak your models.
That was the I don't know why I didn't think of that. Thanks you so much. Thank you so much, Hector, for asking that. Yeah, there is a cost. You can go look it up probably on the website, but usually these things are pretty nominal, and it's a fraction of a thing per call. So,
yeah, it is very cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been amazing, Moon. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Okay. Thanks.
We'll see you next time. I'm gonna send you off on your way, and we're gonna keep.
I'm gonna stay for Transformers.
Yes. All right. We'll see ya. All right, my friends. Isn't she delightful? What is this song? I need to go to the next one. That was a weird one. Isn't she delightful? By the way, when it comes to business stuff with machine learning, recommendation systems are probably something that is the lowest hanging fruit, that is the best for getting the bang for your buck. Like people might go to your site and try to look for a specific foo or a bar, but you could show them other things that are like that, and
it is pretty much the best thing you can do for yourself. All right, let's go back to my screen here. Let's go to Roshambo for a little bit, and then we're gonna. I think we'll. Moon convinced me to look at transformer models together. See if we can't work a little something up, from our learnings. So Roshambo, for those that are wondering what Roshambo, what it is, if we go to, let me load up the GitHub, the github.com. Roshambo here. It's this thing right here. And what it does is it makes this website called Roshambo.ai. If you go there, you'll be able to see this. I got to move my camera here so that I could, because I learned early that it's like you can't use your camera like 7 times. It gets mad at you. So let me move this here and let me get this out of the way. 1 second. All right, so let's use camera this one. And then if I do rock, it's supposed to... Oh, boo. Let's see if it gets paper. But it's like obstructed at the top. Maybe that's what's messing me up. There we go. Okay. So we'll do paper. Let's see, paper. Nice. So that's what this does. And if you go to the website, this is where the stuff is. I've made some changes. Let's see if our GitHub action is still working. Oh, good. Yeah. So, 22 days ago. That's not good. So Roshambo AI training. Well, that's the last time I did something. So that fits because I was gone last time and Cassie was there. Let's open it up here and let's see if I can't. Let me make sure I open the right project here. I can't show you my secret stuff. Here it is. This is the Roshambo project. Let me make it bigger. It looks tiny. Nice. This might be too big. Is this too big? Is this okay? This is too big. No me gusta. No me gusta. There you go. I think this is big enough. And I'll make sure not to go anywhere here because my face is there. But you can see that there's the data that's coming in. The data is right here. It's just pictures of me doing rock. Nothing. Look at me. Look at me. So smug. Paper. Boop. Rock. And then scissors. Okay, and there's not very many. Like if I go to Reveal in File Explorer here, and I go to Properties, you'll see that there's like 10 megabytes of pictures. Like there's only 577 files, so not even that many. I could train it more, but I mean it's pretty good for what it does. Okay, so there was a couple of things that I was supposed to fix. Wow, this doesn't look good at all. Maybe I should fix my camera. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So we have that one, and now see this thing right here above is a teleprompter. So that's why it's like, all right, hold on. All right, that's good. All right, so that looks good. So now if I do rock, hopefully, yeah. See, paper. Yeah, see, there you go. It's not bad. It's not super good. I mean, look at this little percentage. So you can actually go and try this, but it won't work for you because it's trained on pictures of me. It's trained on pictures of me. So you can go and try it. It may not work, but that's what this is. Now, there was a couple of things that I wanted to fix on the... there was 2 things I wanted to fix on the React side. So let's do yarn dev here. Oh, sorry, cd web, and then yarn dev. Nice. Localhost 3000. Nice. Here's this thing. So it's all the same, and then rock. Oh, see, I don't know why this thinks it's scissors. Oh, there you go. It's rocks. Rock, and paper, and then scissors. Nice. So this is the same thing. But remember, what we were trying to do was we're trying to make a video component that that was easy to use. So let me show you what it looks like now. Because this video component, you recall, instead of like, because I had to put a button in there and I didn't want to do that. I want to be able to reach in and grab it. So I had to use this thing called a imperative handle to expose a get frame method. And the get frame method I got, and I resized the video by whatever height I wanted. And I should probably pass the height in of the size of the video. And so basically I multiplied by this to resize it to fit, and then I draw the canvas and I create a URL, and then this is a how I get the actual device, and then this is the actual component. So now when I'm in the index.htm, you can see that the frame, the video literally just looks like this, which is great. And then I have the set settings thing that sets the video settings. I don't even remember what this was for. Go to definition here. Okay, use state media tracker settings. Go to definition. I see. I think this is the what is the size of the video. And when do I use this here? Let's see. On video set is the thing that I'm passing in. Oh, I see. So what this does is this tries to get the actual device. Nice. And then it gets the video tracks of that device, which is in the stream. And then I say this is the settings. I set the settings. Cool. Okay, cool. So that way when the, I guess I don't ever use these, so I don't even know why I need this. Why do I need that? Oh, it's because of this. Let's go to the definition here. Oh, set video ID, and then I'm guessing that in the video, I put the video ID. Nice. Okay, that makes sense. So that's what this does. This video, then when there's this video ref, when I hit the button, the submit button, let's go to the definition, I look at the video reference, right, which uses that imperative handle. This is, by the way, between us girls, I have a master's degree in computer science. I did 2 years of my PhD studying computational linguistics. React is harder than all of that. Like the level of indirection, and like I'm a dude that's been programming for 25 years. Like the mental gymnastics I've had to do to understand what React is doing is astounding. Does anyone else do React, or maybe I'm just dumb? I might be dumb. No, I literally might be dumb. I mean, this is what I had to do to expose the get frame method on this video component so that I could pass a reference, so I could do video ref, so that I could get the frame. It's bananas. I mean, maybe I'm just dumb. Okay. All right, so that's what this does. The API then, once we submit it, notice I do a set frame. The set frame then is a function that takes the string. Here, look, I'll even do a thing here. Let's do this.
console.log frame. And then when we go here, you'll see that when I go like this, doop, oh, it's rock. Yeah, of course you think I'm a rock. I'm just sitting around. You can see this is the actual image, as I just console logged it out. This is a URL encoded string of it in ping base 64. This is the thing we send. And so basically, here you can see I look for the current image, which is the HTML image, and I set the source to the frame. And you're like, well, what are we talking about? It's this thing right here. So this is the current image. And notice that that's the current source. It's ping, the PNG value. That's why it shows up there, because that's the thing. Oh, what broke? What is it unhappy about? Oh, this is okay. This is okay. All right. Console. Okay, cool. All right. And then what I do is this frame, I can take this out now because you saw that it's in there. I push this stringified image to this analyze API. And this analyze API gets the inference endpoint, which then, if you recall, is over here. Let me bring it up. main.ml.azure.com. That's to go into the main branch. So don't use that because it's not the real thing. It's our main branch that I play with. So I break things. I like living on the edge. Okay. And the training job. Oh, here's the endpoint. The endpoint, and this would be Roshambo. And that's what the endpoint is. You can see this is the endpoint here. And if I want to test it, you can see it's right here. Doop, boop. And my endpoint is smart because it will take a picture or a URL encoded string. You're probably wondering, well, how does he do that? I'll show you. Here's the scoring. This is in Python, by the way. This here is just the standard schema, so it knows how to respond. So when you do this goodness here, that's how it knows what the results are. And that's how it knows to fill that in, because I put it there like that. So here's how it knows. If it starts with an HTTP, it knows that it's supposed to pull the image. And so it requests the image and gets the bytes IO. Gets the, uses a pillow to PIL to get the image out. And this is just an image. If it starts with a data image, right, it means that I need to just get the data. So I split it with the comma. I load the image, and then I get the data out of it. Because remember, the string looks like, oh, not this one. Where are you? Where did you go? Localhost 3000. Here we go. Because it looks like this. And if I split where the comma is, that's right here. See that? Which is really cool. And I get this, and I put it into the base 64 decoder, and then I open the image. Otherwise, I just assume it's a base 64 image. And notice this is all in a try block. If it doesn't work, it catches the exception, throws it out. Now here comes the loading. It transforms the image, and the transform is a standard PyTorch transform. You can see right here. Transform, resize, center crop to tensor normalize. Boom. That's what the transform does. And then I run the Onyx session. And the Onyx session, you recall, is an inference session using the CUDA execution provider. With the model file, loads it up. Boom. And then once that's done, looks like the run. Let's see, what does that look like? I guess I can't look at that. I give it the none, and then the input name, whatever that is. I unsqueeze it, meaning I get rid of the first, or I make it so that the image has an extra dimension at the first because it's expecting batches, and I give it a batch of 1. I numpy it, and then I get the answer out.
And then what I do is I go through the predictions. And then I get the answer back. And that's what you're seeing here. That's what this goodness is, right? And the model, if you're curious, I know you are curious. Let's see. Outputs, model, reveal in File Explorer. Thank you. I'm going to open the model in Netron. You can see it's right here. Boop, 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 beep, 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 beep. Wow, this model's tiny. I don't know if this is the one I'm using. I think I'm using. Oh, yeah, this is a Resonant 18. You can see that it's expecting the initial extra dimension because it's 1. That's why I do an unsqueeze of 0. And then it goes through, and the reason why it looks like percentages, because softmax forces it to sum to 1, and the prediction comes out to do that. And so that's why you're seeing this goodness here. This should sum to 1. Looks like scissors was the prevailing thing that it thought it was. Does this make sense? Take a sip of my tea here. Shoot me any questions. By the way, the model. I told you it was a Resonant 18. Here it is. There's a transfer layer. There's the fully connected layer. And then when I do forward, I ReLU the transfer layer. It might already be ReLU'd, but I don't think it is. The output of this is 1,000. And then this 1,000 to number of classes, which for us is 4. That's why that's in there. I softmax the run of the fully connected layer over the first dimension. I do the softmax, and that's it. This is the loss function right here, binary cross entropy. And that's how I get loss in accuracy. And then you can see I can configure the optimizers this way. It looks like I have a learning rate back off thing with a step size of 5, which is delightful. And then I save it to Onyx. Look at this. Isn't this all super delightful? Does anyone have questions about this? I show this all the time, but sometimes I worry that I talk too fast. Oh, the other thing of the model that I have is I have like what classes are. So 0, 1, 2, 3. And then I have a timestamp of when the model was built, because of MLOps. Parameters. Count how many parameters are in there. Looks like this is 11 million parameters with a size of 46 megabytes. Doop. ResNet 18. Boom. I actually trained this inside of this guy. Oh, look at that. You can see that it's trained. And you could even see the outputs in the logs of when it was trained. Look at this fantasticness. It's so good. This is the transfer model. This is the Resonant 18 transfer model that it's loading. And then it looks like it has a GPU. Kaboop. Wow, looks like it has 4 GPUs. How about them apples? You can see the transfer model, 11 million parameters, and then 4K parameters on this, which makes sense, right? Because we're going from 1,000 to 4. So 4 times 1,000 is 4,000. It all makes sense. And train until we get our accuracy at 1. Our validation loss is 1.0148, and our validation accuracy is at 100 with a loss of boop. And that's what we do. It's cool, right? Yeah. Here's Jay McCormick. I find similar the name thing with TypeScript and Angular. So I'm like, I don't know when front end got so dang hard. Thank you for the numbers. Yeah, this is a nice number of params. I could have done more, but I figured it was overkill. Okay. The way that I submit these jobs, let's see if it's in there, is in this cloud thing. And here's the job, and how I submit it. I push this button and the job runs. That's basically what happens. Here's the data set. Remember, it stopped working because I had to give it a V2 data set. That's what that looks like. And then here are the environments that I created to run it. Remember, we had some problems with the environment. Now, here is now for environments, we have this thing called a Docker context. Wait, where is this environment?
a Docker context. What is this? Yeah, and it just, there's the build path. It says everything in here, take it with you. So I could even put like a YAML file in here, but I really didn't want to. I just literally did the laziest thing I could do. Is I did the Azure ML OpenMPI CUDA 11.1, CUDA 8, and I install all the stuff. So these are the Docker files. Will I do that? And so when you run this, it runs in this. Okay. I think it's the deployment that we haven't fixed. So should we fix that? All right, let's look at it. Let's see if we can fix the deployment here. Let's see. Azure ML MIR deployment. Deploy machine learning models. Not V1. We want V2. Vito. Applies to CLI extension V1. CLI extension V2. How do we go to the... No, we want V2. V2, current version. Okay. Deploy ML models. Online endpoints. Via the CLI. Okay. Learn how to use an online endpoint to deploy your model so you don't have to create and manage underlying infrastructure. You'll begin. I should do voiceover. You know, maybe I've missed my calling. You'll begin by deploying a model on your local machine to debug any errors, and then you'll deploy and test it on Azure. You'll also learn how to view the logs and monitor the service level agreement, blah, blah, blah. AZ account set. I've already done that. Prepare your system. Git clone. I don't want to do that. Export endpoint name, your endpoint name. Okay. So I wonder if I need to do this. Okay, this feels more like what I want. The YAML syntax design is based on JSON schema for the latest. Only to work with the latest flag. YAML syntax, schema name, description tags, auth mode, compute. Identity type. Well, show me an example. Basic. Okay. Like this looks exactly the same. System assigned identity. Okay. Okay. User assigned identity. Interesting. Okay. So I wonder if we can just do this part with the CLI. How did we do this before? Because I think I had a GitHub action that did this stuff. What was I doing here? Oh, I remember. It's been like a whole month. I was trying to make a GitHub action that would automatically do this for us. Add AZML extension. AZ. So there's the job. Why am I logging in like twice? Oh, I see. I see. Experiment here. Oh, I see what I was doing. I was trying to separate this out into other workflow, but I realized that this wouldn't work. So I'm taking that out because that's not going to work. Okay. So here is the register model. I wonder if there's a smarter way to register a model from a run now. Let's see. Okay. So no. Model. So that's a local file, local folder in MFO format. No. AZ model. AZML model register. Oh, this is interesting. Model framework I set to Onyx. Interesting. So if I give it a run ID, that would be nice because then I could register the model with the run ID. If I made this an ML flow model, it might make everything easier. Let's see, data. Here's the ML flow model. But I'd have to do a wrapper around it. No me gusta. Ugh. Why is that in there? I don't need that. I think it's ML flow. Yeah, and this model's like pickled. Well, this isn't going to show anything. Maybe I can download this and see what it looks like. No, because this doesn't store the connections like the Onyx model does. Yeah, I don't know if I like this approach. All right. So let me look at this. If I want to register a model from a job, because I think what I'm doing here is I'm downloading AZML job download. And I think what this does is this moves the model over, gets the last model version, and then it has a create. Maybe what I can do is I can pass it. Okay, let's do this. So we want main, anything with AI, PY, and YAML, we should do this. You know, the other thing we could do is we could build a component. We could build a component that just trains whatever's in the folder. You know? That might be interesting. Okay, so we got that. This is the part where we need to fix. I think it's the AZ model create. So let's go here. AZ model create. Oh, is there AZ model? Is it register now? I think it's just register. Oh, wow. They've done a lot more here. Okay. Cool. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, because one of the things that I did not like about my previous setup is I did not have lineage to the experiment. Here it is. This is the run ID. So there's the name. There's the local path. The run ID for us. That's not the run ID. How do we do this? No. Run ID. I wonder. So let me go look at the last time I ran this. Where's the run ID of this thing? There's the git commit. This is the name. But where is the run ID? Oh. Question, do I have a blog about this project? Not yet. Just the GitHub repo, just to learn about it. Yeah, that's a good. I should probably do something like that. But it's quite nice because it's supposed to be an end-to-end thing. Eventually, the goal is to make it so that everyone can upload their own pictures, obviously, if they're okay with that, and then it will train and get better at it. But I'm trying to make it so that it has, because here's the problem. I'll show you the problem. To be honest with you, if I go to the Roshambo model, notice we're on version 3. It has no. It doesn't point back to the right job that did it, and that's the part that's frustrating to me. You know, because I want to have lineage to what model, what produced this. And I don't have that. And it looks like we've added, in the AZ model, we can add a model framework, right? Which for us is Onyx. Here, you can go away. And the run ID is the thing I need to give it. But I don't see the name as I've named it, right? So if I go to the jobs and I go to Roshambo, I think the name is the run ID. Is it? Let's see. Let's go to edit columns. Yeah, I don't see. I think it just because the. Okay, let me go back here. And let's see if I could find the job ID. Because it should be named. It should be named. If I did it right, it should be named app name. What's the app name here? The app name is Roshambo and GitHub Run ID. So we should see Roshambo. We should see Roshambo and we should see Roshambo and the thing, but I don't see that. Well, let's try it. Okay. I think I have this on a workflow dispatch too. So let me save this. Control C. cd ... git status git status. Yeah, that's what I thought. Git add dot git commit -m directing
CI CD model. Oh, golly dokily. Here we go. By the way, here's GitHub. Here's GitHub Copilot. How cool is that? All right, so we push that up here. Let's go over to GitHub. Oh, this is still on. So this is training. I think we should refresh because I deleted that. This should be gone. All right, so here's the training. Let's run it. Because it has a workflow dispatch. Let's see what happens. I haven't run this in a long time, so let's see here. Oh, this might fail. Because it's trying to see if there's an endpoint first. Let's go to the experiment because that's more interesting to me. Add AZML extension. Oh no, I might have deleted all my secrets. Oh, Seth. What are you doing? The endpoint failed. I knew it would. It's okay. Yeah, this is gonna fail too. Azure login action also supports OIDC login mechanism. Error but found was not found. Oh, I need to. I forgot about this. So I need to. Let's see here. Oh, I know. Oh my is right. I think I deleted my key. All right, so there is this rigmarole that I'll have to do in secret because I can't have you looking at my stuff. Yes, I know. Yes, I have to do this thing right here, and then I have to get this secret stuff, but I got to do it in a way that you can't see. Notepad. Here we go. Okay, AZADSP create for RBAC. I think I may have one that I already built that would work for my workspace. Okay. I'm gonna just do my face for a second, if that's okay. Just do my face here because I gotta see. I don't want to open my principal object. Yes. Okay, this was for the website, Roshambo Web. This is for. Oh, I do have one. I just need to fix it in my GitHub. No, not here. GitHub.com. Roshambo. Let's go to my secrets. Secrets, actions. Here it is. Okay. We can go back. We can go back to it. So I put it in. Let's try it again. GitHub.com. Roshambo. Let's try it again. Actions. Training. I wonder if I should have some symmetry here so that it says training instead of dash training. We'll do that. Okay. Pushing the main, living like there's no tomorrow. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful run workflow. Boop, doop. Nope. Boop. Here we go. Running the workflow. So right now what we're trying to do is we're trying to automate the training of the model anytime I do a code check-in, basically, inside of the AI folder. Anytime I change any Python or YAML files inside of the AI folder, it will try to redeploy my entire model, basically. Okay, so let's do the experiment first, because that's the one I care about. And what I had to do is I had to do that thing. I have a principle that goes into the workspace. So whenever I do an AZML command, I have to do an Azure login, and I log in and authenticate via a principal object, which is this. So notice that now it's running it, and it's got it. See, so that's what I had to do. Now I'm setting the defaults. It's creating the AZML job. There's the web view. So if I go over here, I'll get in here, and oh, what you got for me, Azure ML? Customize view of your job metrics. Well, I don't mind if I do. Configure auto shutdown. Oh, I don't mind if I do. Thank you. Thank you. Oh man, I got a lot of workspaces. We want HAL. Wow, I have a HAL prod workspace. How is that possible? Okay. Well, there we go. Here's the Roshambo thing we just did. You can see it's queued. This is the run ID. But the name is the thing that this is the thing that we were talking about, right? Because there's a display name. Let's move this up here. Yeah, so it's always Roshambo. But this is the run ID. Okay, so it seems to be doing the right thing. The endpoint part failed. Yeah, so this seems to be right because my YAML, I changed this, right? Cool. So we'll have to fix that, but this we can still wait on. This will take a little bit because my compute environment is not. Oh, look at that! Someone's in there doing stuff. Look at him go. We are all. I work with a lot of people. The cool thing about this workspace is I work with tons of people. And so you can see, like, there's B. You probably remember B. Here's me. Here's Cassie doing her thing, right? And that's the cool part of Azure ML. You know, you can work with each other. But let me go back to the job. I wonder why. Oh, that's interesting. There's an output data. This is newer. Why is it this name though? That's the thing that I don't understand. I thought when I ran the command. Well, let me look at this. I want to look at this. It should be spitting something out. All right, let me go back here. Actions to Roshambo training. We know that one broke because of the endpoint file. I haven't updated it to CLI v2. But looks like this is going to take, because it has to turn on. My compute environment, this cluster. Oh, come on. Looks like it finally started up. Nice. This is not a cheap machine. Oops.
I need to put a cheaper machine in here because they're gonna get mad at me. $12, Seth. Turn your machine off. Turn it off, Seth. Turn it off.
Turn your machine off. It is working too hard.
Yeah. Sometimes my computer environments are like,
Hey, I can't do all this work. Please don't bother me.
you know, and so you got to do what you got to do. At least we got the thing running, so that's cool. So there's my Roshambo job. There it is. It's running. It's running. Let's go to the logs and the outputs. Whoa. What's all this? This is new. Oh my goodness. This is delightful. I don't even know what this is. How cool is this? Life cycler? What? The computer voice sounds like Cyclone from BSG classes.
Hello, my name is Cyclone from BSG.
BSG. Battlestar Galactica. The Cylons. Oh, I know what you... Okay, old school one or new... You're talking about the old one. Yeah, man, that has 70s just everywhere in there. It's delightful. Okay, so this is the system log. This is the lightning logs that we were talking about.
Find your command.
Flashbacks, old school. Cool. So there's some checkpoints. It's running. So those are the system logs. Trying to find where the let me close all this stuff. Wow, there's a lot of logs we got coming out of here. Ton of logs just coming out of here. How cool is this? This is all new. I am embarrassed to say that I have not seen. These are the outputs. Let's refresh here. System logs. This is new. Where is the... I don't even know what this is. I'm supposed to know. I don't know anymore. Dang. I mean, here's the whole model. Did it finish? Here's the model. Oh, snap. Here's the outputs model. Here's the... I wonder why I can't see the... Oh, they put it in standard log now. How cool is this? There's so much stuff here. I mean, this is delightful. I think it just finished. Let's take a look at the metrics here. Yeah, look at this. Like it started smart and stayed smart. Look at the loss. It's like, yep, I'm done. Here's the accuracy. Boop. Here's the validation loss. Boop. This is nice. Okay, so it should in the GitHub thing. You should see that it did execute this thing just fine. On the model registration, this is the one that I was concerned about. And you recall the reason why is because we wanted to tie the model registration to this specific version or job run. And that's the part that I think. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you are seeing, because we've moved things where it goes. So let's go to outputs and logs. You go to outputs model. Output model. This doesn't exist anymore. Interest. But it looks like it found the right one, which is nice. AZ model download. Make dir. I see. It's putting this to run artifacts. So this is why it's not working. Because I said run this, it's downloading this to run artifacts. Downloading artifacts, boom, boom, boom. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Cool. All right. So if we go here, model download, run artifacts. Run artifacts. Let's try it. It should go a little faster now because Gandalf is all warmed up. He's all, oh no, it's resizing from 1 to 0. Stop resizing, Gandalf. I'm using you. Why are we so cheap? Run workflow. Run workflow. Okay. Okay. While this is going, let's figure out why the endpoint thing isn't working. Endpoint. Endpoint exists. Let's try it. AZML, and I think it's Roshambo endpoint for us. Roshambo. Why, yes, I do want it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Migrating feature states from related applications. All right, we're going to spend another 10 minutes on this, and then we're going to start to discover transformer models. I accept. I accept. Mm-hmm. I see. This checks if it exists. And if it does, it creates the endpoint. If it doesn't work, okay. So we can look at AZML online endpoint, and we can maybe there's a new way to do this. We'll get this here. That stuff. Yeah, and this is what I did. Okay. Are we done? Are we done with this? Come on, dude. It's like you're making it all my strict desire to have the latest and greatest is making it so that it's hard to try things out. All right, let's go back here. Let's take a look at the Roshambo thing here. Looks like it's queued. Yeah, it looks like this is the run ID. I wish it would give it like, I thought it was supposed to give it the name Roshambo _ run ID. Let's see here. App name, that's an environment. Yeah, see, this is the name. App name _ GitHub run ID. Yeah. Why doesn't it do that? I don't know. Yo no say. Okay, removing backup files. Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's all over the place. Oh, I remember. This was the dirty stuff I did. Oof. I remember this. Okay. So online endpoint create. AI cloud. Endpoint. Okay. This is why. Because it's AI cloud deploy now. AI cloud deploy. And then the deployment is also going to have that same problem. So we get the latest model ref. AZML name, app name, GitHub run ID, endpoint, app name, endpoint, -f, AI cloud deploy. AI cloud deploy. It's done. Good job. Hey, yo. Okay. Let's make sure that our latest environment... I spelled deploy wrong. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Thank you. Thank you. Deploy. What happened here? All right. Okay, let's go over here. Let's see if this works. Oh, shoot. What is going on? Let's see. John is telling me to search for deploy because I'm clearly a goofball. Something's wrong. I need to... Let me exit this here. And maybe my AZML help. I may need to uninstall the AZML, reinstall AZML. Install AZ or Azure ML CLIV2. Here we go. Let's do this. Let's just remove all the old ones. What the heck? AZ account list. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Maybe I need to restart this. Okay, John's telling me here. John's telling me I spelled it wrong in one of the deploy. So I'll take a look at that as soon as I get this AZML thing to work. AZ account list -O table. What the freak? Maybe I need to reinstall the entire Azure ML CLI. Holy cow, I just busted everything. Reinstall Azure CLI. Here we go. Install on Windows. Install or update. Okay. So let me close everything so that repair. Great question, Axis. What theme am I using in Visual Studio Code? I'll show you in a second as soon as this goes. I don't want to like if the Azure CLI doesn't work for me, like I am hosed. In my head, I'm thinking,
why is this happening to me? I mean, I've used this my whole life, and here we go. Is this gonna work? Here we go. Okay, we are repairing the Microsoft Azure CLI, and I just we need to fix all of this.
here we go. Validating install. Ooh. Maybe this will fix it. Here we go. Copying new files. All right, let's see. It's still running the job. Let's go over here because we're doing like 5 things at once. Sorry. You can see it's running. Here's the outputs. Looks like everything's happening the way we would think. There are no metrics yet because it just started. So, come on, copy the files. It's repairing it. I think maybe when I was installing it, it like was using it, and so it like had a write error because it was executing from that file. I mean, maybe that's what happened. I've had stuff like that happen before. I have. It's been awful. Here we go. Copying new files. Here's the outputs in law. Look at that. Look at that goodness. It's all happening. All of it. Look at that. There's some metrics now. Boop, boop. Beep, boop. Boop, 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 boop. The one thing I don't understand is why it's named this way. If I gave it a name, if the name I closed it. If the name I gave it, if the name I gave it was right here, right? It's like, no. Job create, and the name I gave it was app name GitHub run ID. I don't know why it doesn't, I don't know why I didn't do it. No sé. Okay, back to actions. Jay saying maybe updates happen in the background this time. Maybe. I mean, the experiment's still running, so endpoint's broken, and we knew that. It's because the file's in the wrong place, right? And we need to fix that. Boom. Okay, what you got? What you got? Okay, finish. Cool. Let's go over here to my command line and let's say AZ. Cool. AZ account list minus O table. What? Expected one module to load. Oh, okay. I've seen this before. Let's see. Here we go. This. I remember this. This is busted. So I will just delete it. Goodbye. Goodbye. I remember this now. Boom. Boom. Okay. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. Now we're cooking with gas. Here we go. We'll copy this. It's going to say I can't do it. It's going to say I can't do it. I don't care. Now what we're going to do is we're going to wait, why is this commented out? That's weird. Here we go. Now it's happening. I think I corrupted my extension list. Kind of a bummer. Oh, sorry. I can undo that. You're not even seeing what I'm doing now. Thank you. So I can open this now. The theme I am using in Visual Studio Code is Preferences. The color theme I am using is GitHub Dark Dimmed. The icon theme I am using is Preferences. File icon theme is VS Code Icons. And then finally, the product icon theme comes from Fluent Icons. That's what's happening. Thank you for that. Let's go over here. Got it. Now I can do... this should work now. Now let's do that one thing. This. Not exit, though, you goober. There should be a Roshambo endpoint, right? Let's see here. Oh, look at that. I have a Roshambo endpoint ignite. What? AZML. Okay. There's a couple of things I need to do because I need to make sure I'm in the right spot. Our workspace is HAL. Our resource group is robots. AZ account list minus photo table. Do that one more time. I have a lot of Azure accounts. So CASE JUA demo test. This is enabled as true, which is the default. It's enabled in default, so we're in the right one. So now, sorry about that. I see. Somebody took it out. So this, maybe I should rename that one to Roshambo endpoint. So let's go back here. Endpoint. I wonder if I can rename this one. I'm gonna run out of quota. I'm gonna run out of quota, aren't I? I feel like I'm gonna run out of quota. Can't delete this one because Facundo is working on this. Can't delete this one because B is working on this one. I may have to delete this one. Delete! Hold on, wait. Don't go crazy, Seth. Don't go crazy. NC6s. So it's not... If I delete this one, it should be okay. Goodbye. Okay. Let's try that query again. Let's try this query again. But let's try it with one that we know works. So let's see. Let's see here. Loan prediction. Let's try loan prediction. Loan predicción with a dash. Loan prediction. Yes, so that works. Cool. And so this is basically in this thing right here. This is adding a point. We want to go before that, which is endpoint. Word count minus L. Oh, this is clever. So I'm counting how many lines there are, and if it's not one, then I'm creating the endpoint. Oh, there's the deploy that you were talking about. Goo! Here we go. Yep. Okay. This might work. So let's go back to GitHub. GitHub. Oh, well, this was a long time ago. Here we go. Okay. So the endpoint. Oh, here. This is the other one, the register. Okay. So we fixed that, right? We couldn't stat that model. And so what we did is we changed the download to run artifacts outputs. Let's see if that's the right thing. So let's go to this thing. Let's go to jobs. Let's go to Roshambo. Let's go to the last one. We should get outputs logs. So be run outputs model, and that's what we want. Outputs model. Okay, cool. So git status. Git add dot git commit minus m added corrected deployment paths, and then we'll put that in there, and then git push origin main. Okay, let's double check the workflow AML training. We should see, yeah, there you go. So that's the right thing. This is getting the last model version. It's getting the max one, and then it's creating the +1 with the run ID, set it to the app run ID. That way we'll get the lineage that we want. Okay, we should be able to run this action. We may not finish in time, but let's just run it one more time. Run workflow. Hopefully our machine did not shut down. Did you shut down compute cluster? Oh, jeez. Yes. Man, my idle time is like, how much is my idle? It's like 120 seconds. This thing just shuts down. It just shuts down because it's like, hey, what's going on here, you know? It just shuts down. Now it's going to have to start up again because I just started it again. Okay, so this endpoint thing should work. It should work. It's checking the endpoint, and what it will find is it will find that there is no Roshambo endpoint. This one's still deleting, which is fine. Creating an endpoint costs nothing, and so it should be okay with doing it. Oh man, what happened? Why didn't it like this? There is already an endpoint with this name. Endpoint names need to be unique within a region. App name dash endpoint minus F. Where are you saying Roshambo endpoint? I don't see it. I don't see. I see Roshambo endpoint ignite. That's weird. Oh snap! It's time for our walk-off music. My bad. Well, we didn't get to the transformer models. We made some progress though. We've got some automation going on here. We're still working on the endpoint deployment stuff, but the experimentation seems to be going good. We got that going for us, so let's refresh this. It's still deleting. I don't know why I can't find the Roshambo-endpoint, which is to me weird. We'll see if we can't figure that out. Maybe it's because it's... No, this is a different one. It's a different one. Why would it care? You know? Sorry, we did not also get to the transformer stuff. I was going to go through this with you because this looks really cool, you know, to learn about it. And then this was going to be really cool to do. And then this one was the one I was most interested in. I will assume a basic understanding of neural networks. I got that. And backpropagation. We got that too. Here's a lecture, just in case. We don't need that lecture. This, I think, was the most interesting part, self-attention. The fundamental operation of any transformer architecture is the self-attention operation. And see, the thing about this is a standard linear model with weighted average. But here is the interesting bit. The dot product between the input vectors is the self-attention. And that's the thing that was interesting to me. I wonder if there's some kind of like some kind of function over xi transpose xj. Because I think these represent word embeddings. And the attention that this pays to, there might be some kind of, I wonder if there's a weight value that's put in there. Looks like they softmax over that too. Yeah, which is interesting. And I thought we would talk about this. Maybe we'll talk about that next time to see what's going on. Thanks for helping me with the deploy because... and then the other thing that's interesting to me is I'm still not sure why this is not happy. There's already an endpoint with that name. Endpoint name needs to be unique within the region. See, the thing is that when it ran this, it didn't find it. And then when I tried to create it, it crashed. Which is right there. I mean, it's kind of silly. It's literally right there. Roshambo endpoint. Or maybe I tried to create a dash endpoint and it got mad. I don't know. But at any rate, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. It's been fantastic. We should do more of these where we just shoot the breeze. Maybe we should do one where we learn like fundamentals too.
I'm excited about that. Next time on the AI show, even though we're a little bit over, I'm still going to tell you, we have an amazing show. Nuance, developing a clinical resource tool with Azure. We're going to make sure to hit that next time. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time live on the AI show. Take care.